Financial planning considerations for Canadians. My name is Christian Dye, and I'm from Latitude West Financial. In partnership with David Cummings Insurance Services, we're here to give you some perspective as to what is needed in order to ensure the safety for you and your family. So, why do we need to do planning? Well, nobody wakes up one day and say, "Today I'm going to ruin my life." But sometimes people wake up and they realize that their financial lives are ruined. They've run out of time. They've done poor preparations and poor planning. When do we start doing financial planning? When should we start? In our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s? What has the latest crisis taught us? Be prepared. Life is unpredictable. How financially prepared are you for retirement, a disability, loss of a job, downturn in investments? I want you to consider this. I want you to imagine that you enter into a new city, let's say New York City. You're only there for a short period of time, and there's many things that you want to see. What is the very first thing that you're going to do when you get there? And the quick answer is you're going to get a map or an app of some sort. It will give you direction. It will show you how to get to and from different places in the greatest amount of efficiency. That's what financial planning is. What would happen if we enter into that city without that planning? It's simple. We'd waste a lot of time. We would probably be going in the wrong direction for most of the trip. And at the end, we'd probably be very disappointed with what we achieved. Heaven forbid, but that's what life would be like without good financial planning. So, what numbers do we need to know? So, I'm going to give you a little example. What does 27,375 mean to a retiree? What does this number mean? This over here is the amount of meals this is the amount of meals they would need in their retirement. 3 meals per day times by 365 days per year times by 25 years is about 27,375. Let's imagine that we spend an average of $10 per meal. This would be about 273,000 of today's dollars. If we hedge for inflation at 2.5%, and if we're a male currently aged 40, by age 65, this is about a little over $500,000. So just to eat for one person currently in their 40s, they would need about $500,000 in their retirement to eat. Now, if they have a spouse, we need to double this number. And we also now have to consider all the expenses for transportation, housing, travel, and medical expenses. So a lot of times people don't know what is the number that they need. So what we need is a game plan. In 2020, like any other great game, we need an offense, we need a defense. Offense is our investments. Are they on track? Are we building enough assets in order to sustain us? Defense is, are we protected in case of an accident or an injury? So our greatest asset, of course, is ourself. How well protected is it? So how are your investments? Do you invest on your own? ETFs, index funds, or maybe use a bank advisor or an insurance advisor? What are the financial targets? Down payment, early retirement? Do you know? Are you on track? So here at Latitude West, one of the things that we like to do is to ensure people are on track whenever we're doing any type of investment review. Let's take this example of a male and a female, both age in their mid-30s. They have RSPs, TFSAs, a little bit of pension, and they have a target of what they want to retire with. In this example, it's $100,000 per year in their retirement up until age 95. Starting at age 65, they're getting an average rate of return on their investments of about 4.65%. At this rate, with the amount that they're going to contribute each year, are they on track? We're able to show this graphically to show whether they are on track or not. We have probability lines that have to make it to the end of the graph in order to ensure enough money for life expectancy. And in this first graph over here, you can tell that they are going to run short. The black line in the middle is our expected value line. So what we do is we then make recommendations on how they can alter their plan. So we're making adjustments and we're giving recommendations, and then of course we're implementing them. So in this example over here, we can increase the rate of return by taking on more aggressive investments. We could decrease the amount of the target down to $71,000 per year. We could also extend retirement. if that's an option for them. But what's most important for us is for them to now be on target. So now we could tell that they are happy with their adjustments and we are now moving them on target. So we create these new strategies working with our clients in order to ensure that our recommendations suits their needs. So what will it look like once they're actually in retirement? Well, it's usually not linear because we usually have these spikes because we know how much they need, we know how much they need to end up with. But what happens over time is these things change due to maybe a long-term care issue, maybe they are downsizing, or maybe they are gifting money to their adult children. So what we need to do is we need to take these extra layers into account once we're actually in retirement and show them what it would look like so we could do some planning. So what will you leave behind? How prepared are you? If you still have young children, are you prepared in case of an accident or an illness? Hope is not a strategy. Hoping nothing bad will ever happen to us, of course, is not a strategy. Has your will been put in place? And if so, how often do you update it? Is your insurance adequate to cover in the case of an accident, illness, or death? And a lot of people believe that they have enough insurance through work. Well, unless you do a review, how will you actually know? People are often overinsured in the wrong areas. We often get too much insurance in one area and we neglect the other areas. An insurance review and a will review is important to do regularly. We do this at Latitude West Financial in order to ensure that our clients are protected on the downside. Do not let your legacy be a financial nightmare. Nobody wants to leave that type of burden onto their kids and their family. So one of the things that we do as well is to do an actuarial risk analysis so that you could see the actual numbers of the probabilities of actually using, whether it be a life insurance, a critical illness insurance, or disability insurance. It will then help you to determine which one has the most value. So in our example over here, male before the age of 65 will have a little over a 50% chance of cashing in on either a life insurance, a disability, or a critical illness policy, with disability being the absolute highest. When we do an insurance needs analysis, we're gathering everything from your age, your health, your children, your financial needs replacement, your mortgage, your income, and we're determining how much insurance you would actually need. And then we would determine where your shortfall is. We would see what's covered through work, and then we would see our recommendations, which is not covered through work, which you should own personally. Adult children. If you're older and you have adult children, are they adequately covered? Now, if they earn $100,000 per year, who will care for their family if they were to die? Well, A, maybe you feel that they don't need it. B, they have enough insurance to cover it. Or C, they'll rely on their retired parents to cover it. So if these were their three options, which do you think would be the most advisable? Now, if they have B, fantastic. Let's make sure this is enough coverage. If they don't have option B, this is what they need. Everybody needs to ensure that their family is protected. And if you are that adult child, you need to ensure that you are protected. If you are the parent of that adult child, you should absolutely make sure that they are not passing a burden onto you. Who will decide? So let's say you have $500,000 in stocks, $1 million in insurance, and 3 young children. And if something was to happen to you and your wife, who do you want to decide who gets what? Would you like to be the one to decide? Or would you like a judge to decide who gets these assets as well as the caring of your children? If you want you to decide, then you need a good will. And some people feel that they have a will, but if it hasn't been updated, you really should revise it. And if it wasn't done by a professional, again, you should also have it done by a lawyer. And the reason is because we do not want it to be able to be contested. How secure is your business? Do you own a business? If you do, How reliant is your business on you personally or on your partner? So here's the big mistakes we're seeing from business owners. They have no key man insurance on any form of disability, and the company is too reliant on them. No business overhead insurance, no shareholders agreement, and no exit strategy due to a death or accident. And remember, these are all costs that can be incurred by the business and are deductible. But often we neglect these things because we are too concentrated on what's going on in the business that we forget to do all of the things in order to protect our business. So, is your business a ticking time bomb? So, what we do at Latitude West is whether it be a personal or a business or a family, we take a look and see what is needed. We start with a discovery, information, questions, and getting to know you, as well as you getting to know us. This does not cost anything. All of our discovery meetings are completely complimentary. It's just for us to uncover what are the problems and what needs to be done. If you do decide to move forward, then we would move on to navigation. We would start creating a plan, we would discuss this with you, and then we would move on to what needs to be implemented. Then we would do our annual or periodic reviews in order to see if there's anything that needs to be changed in our course correction. So our Latitude West financial team is here to serve. We are here to ensure that all of our clients and our future clients are fully protected so that they could sleep well at night. So why is a plan necessary? Because if there is a problem going on right now in any of these things that we have mentioned, then it is just going to get worse. You're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. So all of the problems of this world could have been solved when they were small. Do you have enough to retire with? Do you have enough insurance to protect you in case of an accident or illness? Does your adult children have enough in order to suit the needs of their children? Is your business fully protected from all of the safeguards? So, a new direction. Life has many challenges, but what you do with the challenges is what defines your conquest in life. Do you have your financial life in order? What questions do you need to move forward? Quote, fortune favors the prepared mind. So, if you're ready to talk, you can reach us at assistant@latitude-west.ca or my cell, 604-202-9178. Visit our website at www.latitude-west.ca.